So we're here in the church, and we're looking forward really to masses, public masses being celebrated once again in the church. So we're starting bishop and archbishop. So for the state of Oklahoma, the openings will take place beginning May 18th. So it's a Monday. So we've got kind of a week to practice, if you will, kind of our daily masses. We're going to do those here in our main church. Again, it's just a nice space for us to accommodate people who want to come to our daily masses. We can social distance, and so it's really great. So, and then the weekend, though, the first weekend would be May 23rd and 24th. That'll be when we'll reopen Sunday masses. And so a few things that I would say. Number one is be safe. You know, that's the main thing. But both the bishops, they were like, said, well, we're not going to, there's no obligation for people to attend because we want people to use good judgment. You know, if you're in a vulnerable point in life, if because of age or infirmity or some existing health condition, we want you to use good judgment, exercise good judgment in terms of coming or not coming. So just so you know, there's not an obligation for the Sunday Mass. So what we're wanting to do is, you know, if you're sick or you have a fever, we're saying, please do not come. You know, when you come, we're asking that you consider wearing a mask. You know, again, just not only for your benefit, but for the sake of other people's. All our ministers, so our ushers who are going to be helping, extraordinary ministers of communion, anyone who's distributing communion, we will be wearing a mask because at that point we'll be coming into that 6-foot radius, closer than that. So anyway, so we're going to try and do everything that we can, both people-wise as well as in our space, to make sure that it's a safe environment for you. So we're going to be cleaning before and after every single Mass. You know, we're disinfecting. So again, we just want to really make sure that the space that you come into, if you're choosing to come, that you're not going to inadvertently pick something up there. We're going to do our best on that. You can BYOS, bring your own hand sanitizer if you want to. You know, again, so we'll have hand sanitizer kind of at the entrances to the church and all that. But if before communion or whatever you would feel better about using hand sanitizer, again, please feel free to bring that with your space. So we are having one daily Mass, so the Wednesday 9 a.m. Mass, and that we're limiting that to people who are in kind of vulnerable points in life. So again, if you're in some way kind of compromised or whatever, or of the age where you're at risk, that Mass, we're limiting it to people really in those life situations. So we will be requiring a Mass for every single person that comes to that daily Mass. So Wednesday at the 9 o'clock Mass. We want to, again, to do our best to have a safe space for people. So number one, the most important thing is to be safe. Secondly, we would ask that you would be patient and be charitable. With us, you know, kind of this is new territory for us, but also with other people, you know, as they're coming. So what can you expect? So when you arrive, the doors will be propped open. We're going to keep those open. We don't want you to have to touch, you know, anything that you don't have to touch. But be prepared to, you know, for someone to greet you, but to find out how many people are in your household. So if you're a household of 1 or 2 or 3, you'll be seated someplace. But if you're a household of 4 or more, in order to maximize the number of people that can fit in here at a safe distance, we've got these 4 sections right here on the back are for households of 4 or more. So be patient. If this is where you have been sitting for the last 20 plus years, again, kind of if they're asking you to sit elsewhere, just follow what the ushers are doing. We're going to do our best to train them and to make sure that things go as smoothly as possible, but it's not always possible. So anyway, so be patient. Be patient. So we'll check you, and we'll have an usher take you to someplace. And then also, terms of, kind of fitting people in, kind of the most spaces, and other things that would be a part of what we would normally do. We will not be passing collection baskets, again, or even kind of using the ones that have the handles. Instead, what we'll do, the entrances to the church where you would normally put in, like the host, if you were going to be receiving communion, we'll have boxes here where people can put their collection in there. So here, 2 entrances to the church, we'll be doing that in place of the collection baskets. No holding hands, like so the Lord's Prayer, or no sign of peace. And again, it's just so we'll go from kind of the peace of the Lord be with you and with your spirit, and then we'll go right into the Lamb of God on that again. So we're asking, so no physical contact, kind of with other people. Now, granted, there's going to be an empty pew between your pew and the person, the people in front of you and the people behind you as well. So just so you know that. Receiving communion. So we're asking you to receive communion in the hand, and again, for the sake of the larger community. If you're not comfortable with that, then what we would ask you to do when it comes time for communion, if you would, you can come back by the baptismal font, asking you kind of distancing. You'll be the last people who would receive. So just the priest or the deacon would come back and would then give you communion. But so it'd be after everyone else receives. So just so you know that. On the way in and on the way out, we would ask that, again, following the usher's instructions, not gathering in the vestibule. We just don't have a large enough space to do that with safe social distancing. So if you come to the holy water font, the baptismal font, and you're looking for holy water, again, just part of our precautions as we've emptied this, we will have holy water in bottles that will be out in the vestibule that you can take to your home if you want to use that. But just know that we have emptied this, again, part of our precautions. So be patient, be charitable with us and with one another. And finally, I would say, be hopeful. Things as they are right now, that's not the way things are always going to be. And especially if you're kind of in a space where you're fearful or isolated or lonely or anxious or whatever that you may be feeling, again, God has come to us and he says, behold, I make all things new. The possibility really of what God can do, even in the midst of all of this. So we look forward to people coming back, but we want you to be safe. Use your good judgment in terms of when that time is appropriate. We feel that you're going to be the person who knows best for you. Be patient and charitable with one another as we re-enter, and ultimately be hopeful. It's the Easter season. Christ is risen. The possibility of new life exists. So please know my ongoing prayers for your intention and for you. So God bless.